You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Alllard.
A little loud there, bud. Just a touch. All right. Well, now a little louder now. See, I'm an old man. Okay, now I'm
How's
off.
that?
Okay. I don't know.
Too loud, too quiet.
Too loud. It's too hot. Too cold.
Okay, Goldilocks.
Yeah, no, this. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Today we have Jessica Bollen from J. Bollen Photography, and we're going to talk about not just what she does, but she does very well. I've seen her stuff because we're both B&I members. We're also going to talk about, the process of starting a business, because I am thinking about expanding this platform significantly in 2025, and I just kind of like to pick a few brains as to how they came to the decision and the conclusion that they want to start their own business.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, is that what you say it is? Sometimes I'm sure it's stressful. Yeah. Now this is this studio is not very far from my home, but what exactly is the address? I mean, if I tell people more or less where it is physically, they're going to know. But what is the address?
Yeah, the address is 2801 Burleson Retta Road. We're in Suite 108. So if you're behind Spinks and you're going toward Southern Oaks, the golf course, go a little bit past that, and we're there on the left.
Right, and it's next to the gas station over there. That's been there quite some time.
Everybody knows that Quick Stop. They're right there.
That Quick Stop, and a lot of people like myself turn right at that particular road. I believe it's Hoover. And,
yes, it is.
And so it's on the corner of Hoover and Burleson Retta.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about all this business about how y'all got started into this. Also, your husband is very involved with Graceview Baptist. He's associate pastor there and counselor, and probably busses tables and cleans the toilets and whatever else there. Pretty much, right?
Lots of things. Yeah. Lots of things. Yes.
And so we'll talk about that ministry as well, and how you really incorporate your photography as a ministry.
Yes, that's the goal. That's the ultimate. I say that our photography business just supports our ministry habits. So that's the goal.
This is my podcast business. It supports my, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of habits. I don't have a lot of hobbies anymore. My book buying habit maybe is
your politics habit.
No, I'm getting off. Actually, I'm starting to kind of drift away from that a little bit after all the hair pulling we've just gone through.
We all need a break.
Yes,
we all need it. We all need to take a breather.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's talk about our sponsors here as I do the voodoo I do to try to share it with everybody. First of all, Our Place Restaurant. You like Our Place, do you?
I love Our Place.
The
best potatoes.
Yeah, they do.
They're breakfast potatoes.
You have 19 kids, right?
Sometimes it feels that way. There's 4 of them. They're fantastic, but we're a busy family.
Yeah,
and they also love Our Place. Actually, it's the s'mores pancakes, really.
Yeah.
I try to act like a grown-up, but I love the s'mores pancakes.
Yes, of course. Well, that's what it's there for. And we go there, my Sunday schoolman and I go there every other Thursday, and we try to solve the world's problems early in the morning. I wish it was so early. I am not a morning person.
Same.
But it's a great place to go. The service is great. The food is great. I saw Otto Saturday over at Gina's because with this venture I'm referring to, I'm just letting them know about it. Gina's is a great place. Have you been to Gina's yet?
I have not.
Well, now
I have not, and I need to. It's definitely on the list.
Well, you should. I mean, if you like, first of all, the food's great.
Yes.
But it's the same kind of atmosphere and service you get at Our Place.
I've heard nothing but wonderful things.
Yeah.
I'm a little embarrassed to say I haven't been. I'll fix that. Daniel, we're going to lunch at Gina's today.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they got good lunch specials and whatnot. And Otto's very community oriented and such as that. So it's always a great thing. Also, our friends over at Wild Cigar. Now, I'm betting you're not a cigar smoker.
I am not.
But you know people that are, I bet.
I do.
Okay, and
it's beautiful in there. They did a great job.
You've been there?
I have popped in, yeah.
Okay, good. And it is a great place, and it's a good place to do business. I don't know if, maybe Daniel can do some counseling there.
He's popped in. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But those guys are so knowledgeable. I remember I visited Rotary, and they were the speaker, and I learned so much. It was fascinating to hear them talk about the process.
I learned a lot too, because one of the owners, Chris, is a former student. He's been on the show a couple of times, and I did not know. I knew that there were variations in quality of cigar, but it's like wine is like he compared it to,
Absolutely.
And and they go to that humidor they have, and they like, what do you want? And I go, well, I don't know. I don't know much about cigars. Well, and they'd point me to the stuff that I'd be interested in. But also selling gift cards.
Yes.
So if you have somebody in your life that likes a decent smoke, then that's a good Christmas gift, good stocking stuffer. Same with
Absolutely.
Well, several of these people are selling gift cards like Otto, our place, and Gina says both. Also, here's somebody you may know. It's our friends Gayla over at Southern Gin.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been there before.
That's definitely my speed.
Yeah.
Maybe not my budget. No, she's got something for literally everyone.
Right.
She has the most amazing taste.
She does have some high-end stuff, and she does have some stuff that I
She really
can
does.
afford. And, you've been to a couple of her events there with the Chamber and with BNI and whatnot.
Yes.
And Robin is coming home pretty tired because they're doing a lot of business.
Yes.
Which is good, right?
Yes.
And
I was in playing Christmas Elf for someone else the other day looking for a gift, and they were so busy, which is so great to see for all of our local businesses, but they just do a fantastic job. She has an amazing collection. It's gorgeous.
They're going to be open. They're open today. Normally, they're not open Mondays, but they're open today. They'll be open next Monday. They'll be open the 23rd. That is next Monday, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It is.
All right.
Hard to believe.
And part of the day, the 24th, not the full hours, of course.
Sure.
At half a day or so. And so if you're looking to buy, you better do it this week. If you run in there in the last minute, it's going to be pretty hectic. And so if you want to, get some help, and they got all the whole staff is working all these hours. All 5 of them on the payroll are there all week long. And they're still running around like they're on fire. So,
well, and you really want to enjoy their full collection. I'm sure that people are going to be taking them up on that these last few days of shopping. And so go now so you can really, really take it all in. It's gorgeous.
What I like about it, if you took your husband there, you could park him in the bullpen, as they call it, and he can watch TV while you go look, so.
Exactly. Yes, Daniel. Let's go to Southern Gin.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Also, our friends over at Old Pro, John Williams, of course.
He was just on my roof last week.
Is that right?
He was.
For an inspection?
Yes. We realized we were kind of coming up on 10 years and might have some issues getting that insured after 10 years. So he was checking it out.
What did he say?
Super knowledgeable. A little hail damage. We had a little bit from last spring. We didn't even realize it was there. Had a brand new gutters were dinged. And again, super knowledgeable. Just an absolute expert.
You have less than 365 days to get that in,
You do.
right? And not every insurance company is as accommodating as Texas Farm Bureau, which is what I have.
We're USAA.
Yeah.
Also fantastic.
That'd be fine, yeah. 817-734-2756. Give John a call. I have him do my roof inspection every year.
Yes.
Because of what he's been telling us at our BNI meetings. And real estate guy, Jeff Kelly at the Withington Agency, 817-781-0546. He also is very knowledgeable about real estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, information, I'm going to have him on in about 6 weeks from now, because by that time, the rates will have changed.
Yes.
And there's going to be we're going to talk about issues down in Austin related to property taxes and how that'll affect the real estate market and things like that. So
interesting.
So that'll probably be late January, roughly.
Okay. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him.
He's a very,
very
nice man, very personable. He knows what he's talking about. So it's a good conversation. I had him on a couple of times already, and I learn, and that's a good thing.
That's awesome. He also has a great headshot.
That's yours.
I trust him immediately. He has a great headshot. It's not with me. He went to somebody. There's
one of your friends?
Lots of great people, but digital first impression right here. It's a little bit of a soapbox of mine. Great first impression, Jeff. I love it.
I don't photograph well. I mean, I saw a picture of myself the other day, and I said, "My goodness, I look old."
I have yet to have anybody step in front of my camera and say, "I love having my photo taken. I always look amazing." So you're not alone. Well, but that's why you hire friends.
I guess so. Also, over our friends over at Hotworks. You ever been to Hotworks?
I have not.
Okay, they have their workout facility, but they're not like a gym or anything like it.
Right, it's very unique.
And it's infrared workouts with about 11 different types of workouts, like rowing, Pilates. Taylor, you did some stuff, didn't you?
Did you now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do over there?
Oh, I always forget the name of it. Like the rowing one, and then
rowing
like
is so good for you.
You can tell he has the allergies are working on him today.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, wait.
I did the rowing one and the elliptical one. They were really good.
All right. I have to check it out.
It is. And, Michelle, the owner, has been on the show several times. And, she's very passionate about fitness and things of that nature. So it's not a place to go build your muscles as such. It's there to go work out. And they got the sauna. They got the whole thing. It's really working out pretty well for them. and Michelle's very knowledgeable. So go visit with her.
Yeah. I mean, New Year's resolutions are coming up, right?
Yes, and she
It's a great time to hop into something like that.
My resolutions is not to have resolutions because I know what happens to mine about mid-January.
Oh, you got to set goals.
I do have a goal, like I mentioned about my proposed venture. That's my New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Also, Local Life Magazine
Yes.
advertises to 30,000 homes plus all these businesses. Call Tiffany and see what you got for you. I think this month's magazine was the nonprofits, and our friend Garrett from BNI is on the cover.
Yes, it was a fantastic. It was a fantastic issue. I really enjoyed that one.
You know, I kind of brag on it. You know, one thing all 7 of those people have in common?
They've been on your show.
They've been on my show.
Well, now I have a New Year's resolution to maybe have them all in the studio, my studio.
There you go.
Let's
It'll
do
work.
that.
And,
A few of them have been.
And also another returning friend of ours, Burleson Buzz, Cody O'Brien. I'm going to visit with him tomorrow. And he's back on board because he wants to expand his reach as well. He
Wonderful.
And his partner, Ashton. You know, Ashton does the sports.
Right.
Cody's wife does like some of the human interest articles, you will, you know, and that, you know, recipes and things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, he's a young man, young family man, all this other stuff. It's really lots of fun. So I'll be talking to him very, very soon.
Awesome. It's
So
exciting.
let's talk about you, though.
Hey,
All right.
do we have to? I
Yes,
guess
we
that's why
do.
I'm here.
Well, now we know each other from being out, but I first met you at a city event, the Chamber of Commerce event,
We did.
and
yeah.
I was hassling you then. Hey, join VNI, and finally you got around to doing it. But
I did. You know, it was more of just an availability thing. So
Right.
I'm glad we've made it work. Love BNI. It's been such a fabulous group to be a part of. So supportive. It's been fun.
And it is not just networking. I mean, we have developed a pretty good relationship with each other. It more than just business. You know, it's
Absolutely.
a lot of personal connections, friendships, and whatnot. But y'all are from Arkansas, you and Daniel.
We call it the promised land. We love Arkansas.
What promises in Arkansas? I don't know, but Arkansas.
It's just beautiful.
I know it's a real pretty state, but I don't know.
It's
So-
also literally our entire family is there.
Yeah, I know.
you know.
Everybody I've met from Arkansas loves it, and you know, I have a good close friend from my college days who lives up there still. He's from Arkansas, from Little
Okay.
Rock, and
Hey, yep.
he's a Baylor guy and frat brother. And we every time Baylor's on TV, we text with each other about the game. And he just loves Arkansas.
It's just
Even
it's
then,
wonderful
school.
community, beautiful scenery, great weather. We actually get seasons. It's sweet. But at the same time, I feel like Burleson is very similar to the town I grew up in, my hometown. Shout out, Bryan, Arkansas. Hey, guys.
Bryant.
It even starts with a B. Very similar communities. And so that's why we knew, you know, when the Lord brought us here, we knew that Burleson would be a great place to raise our family. It was very similar to where I grew up, which was wonderful.
So you came down here for the seminary, right?
We did, yes. First for Daniel, he had started while we were in Little Rock and then felt the need to come onto campus full time. And we were here a year and I got the bug and I started. And so,
You've been in seminary also.
I have, yeah.
Okay. What's your degree in?
It's just a master's of theological studies. So, yeah.
Well, both my brother-in-law and my father-in-law went to the seminary, and their stories are somewhat similar, particularly with my father-in-law. He had a job. They lived in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Okay.
And he worked in Rock Hill, South Carolina at Winn-Dixie. He was like a store manager, and he just said one day, my wife was about 12, said, I can't deny the call anymore. And so he went and got back. He got his degree from Gardner-Webb, you know, a little
That's
Baptist school
awesome.
there, and then he came to the seminary.
Wow.
And so I think my wife is much younger then because they moved here when she was 12.
Okay.
And he quickly settled into a church in Boyd up in Wise County, and then stayed there till he became a missionary and on and on. But the point is that I'm very familiar with that story because, you know, you left a lot behind when you came to the seminary, didn't you?
It wasn't a proud moment for me, but when Daniel, you know, approached me, we had a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, and he's, you know, I think I need to move on to campus. He'd been doing that online and through the extension. I was not convinced of the timing, and I looked at him. I said, "You and God are going to make me move to Texas."
That's exactly almost
was not a
what
proud moment.
that's what my mother-in-law said. My mother-in-law said, "We'll go where you go," kind of thing. But
Sure.
are you sure about this? And my father-in-law's mother said, I don't want you to move to Texas. All my granddaughters marry Texas boys. Well, thanks a lot, Grandma. You know, like all, you know, all three of their daughters did marry Texas boys.
I guess
and-
it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I guess so. 36
I will say
plus
it only
years.
took me about 6 hours really for the Lord to get me on board, and haven't regretted it since. It's been a wonderful adventure. We love being here, and
And after the seminary, you joined Graceview, or it was another stop or two along the way?
So when we first moved here, we lived on campus at the seminary. We
Lovely
left
housing,
everything.
right?
It was, but maybe not. But
I've been in it.
but the community is very sweet, and we loved our years on campus. It was wonderful. But we, had to, and it helped us, make ends meet. Like I said, we kind of left our families, we left our jobs, we kind of started over with these two little girls and a heart for ministry. And that's really where the photography business was born, was, okay, I've got this skill and this passion, Lord, can we provide through this? And he absolutely did.
Were you in photography in Arkansas?
Just as a hobby.
As a hobby?
Just for
So
fun.
you decided
and
to
a
make
hobby.
your hobby pay, which is not a bad way to do a hobby. And so I guess you started out, freelancing a bit.
Absolutely freelancing.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very small, and helped another photographer friend in ways with her company. She was more established at that time, and, worked for her. And that was a wonderful experience. She was, just a dear friend, but also poured into me. With it turned into an apprenticeship of sorts. And I'm super, super thankful for that. And she really helped me build my confidence and into, hey, this can provide.
There's a comment there from our friend Candy.
Candy, thank you.
She's a wonderful photographer.
Thank you, Miss Candy.
Yes, and she's sweet.
Also, yes, also a wonderful lady there.
Yeah. So it just occurred to me, if you moved here with 2 kids and you have 4,
I did
you have 2 Texas boys, 2 Texas
yes.
kids, right?
Born at Baylor, Scott, and White, both of them. I know. I'd never thought I'd have little Texans, but
there you go.
I know.
But they'll grow up to be fine people, no doubt.
They know how to call the hogs. I'll just say that.
Good heavens. When it gets to college time, though, I know a great place for young Baptist kids to go to.
There you go.
Yeah, well, so 2 of them, actually. I teach at DBU, and I can recommend that school as well as my alma mater.
Huge respect for DBU.
Yeah, and but it is really...
It's a fantastic school.
It lives to the mission. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to put it. But as far as doing these photography things, I mean that's hard though to be freelancing, because there's no steady income, there's no steady jobs, whatnot. You're, you may go 2, 3, 4 weeks with nothing.
Absolutely.
And that kind of thing.
I'll say, aside from having children, small business is the most faith building experience of my life. It's very sanctifying because you have to trust and every month can be different.
But when you were freelancing, your investment, shall we say, is fairly minimal. But when you went to a studio, then you're putting serious money on the table.
Yes, we made that dive a little over a year ago, and it was scary, but we looking at everything and knew we were established here for the long run. You don't always know that early on in seminary. You have to be very open-handed with where your next steps are going to be, because the Lord can call you anywhere in the world. And we wanted to be available for that. But through just different decisions and as our kids are getting older, we're really committed to this area. And the Lord just started opening doors for things to happen. We just got to the point as a family of, okay, we need to turn this into more really a full-time endeavor or find a different full-time endeavor. And doors started opening, and we got wonderful community support from our family and our friends, and Burleson as a whole, and so we dove in, and it's been exciting. But yeah, it's scary. We probably 10x our expenses in that. So.
Well, it's what I'm thinking just from my small ventures, which my capital investment is somewhat minimal. But your situation, you have a studio, you have high-end equipment, you have, I don't know, scenery background, whatever.
Scenery,
I don't know. Well, it's you're just not photographing against the wall. I mean, whatever. You have some sort of backdrop.
Right,
whatnot.
absolutely. Several of them.
Yeah, and so all that, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, Lord, if this is what I'm going to do, you might want to... those 10,000 cattle you have up on the hill, you might want to lend me a couple for...
Can they start walking down the hill?
Yeah, come
can
down
they
the hill
start coming?
we need to maybe take one to the butcher shop, because we got expenses coming. I'm sure some days you wake up and think, what was I doing?
more days than I can probably count. You know, it's more the sleepless nights, but at the same time, like I said, it's very faith building experience. You know, anytime we start to worry or get concerned, or you know, are we gonna make it this month? The phone rings, and it's somebody looking for services. It's somebody that is looking, you know, has a need that we can fill, and like I said, the phone rings, and we praise the Lord for that.
Well, that's kind of what's happened with my show occasionally, is that there have been times when I think, what am I doing? You know, I don't have to do this. And then somebody will, I don't know, I'll get a message on Facebook or I'll run into somebody and said, I really enjoyed your show and whatever. And I said, okay, I'll keep going.
Absolutely.
You know?
I love that. It's little things like that. It's a message, it's a comment. It's not always somebody bringing business, but it's just, the Lord is so sweet to show the impact that we have in the work that He's called us to help keep us going. I love when those little bits of encouragement come through.
I consider this a calling of sorts. It's not, you know, I say it's
Absolutely.
a ministry, but, you know, I don't want to overinflate my importance and say, oh, I'm, you know, spreading the gospel to the heathen Burlestonians. But it does serve its purpose.
It does.
I've been able to help with the nonprofits in the city some, and the schools some, and when I don't have a guest, I get to rant about Joe Biden, the gift that never fails to quit delivering. And you know,
got a sound effect for that.
No, So I've been very fortunate, but I'm sure, you know, we in our BNI groups, we all get together, and it's almost like counseling sessions. We like, because our friends, you know, they go through struggles.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes not on their own. Like our friend Candy, you know, the market goes up, you know, with the interest rates, and she's having to deal with that, and they're hanging in there, and over at Camco, and then, you know, everybody in that room at one time or another is thinking, if things don't turn around, it's going to be a lean couple of months.
Absolutely. Small businesses, it's been a scary time. It's been a scary time for small business.
But you're better established now than you were a year ago, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really, you know, here at the year end, we're looking at all the numbers, and the Lord has absolutely come through. Burleson's come through for us. The support has been amazing. And I feel like this has been a very foundational year. And so we're excited for what's to come in 2025.
Well, it's also good messages into your children.
Yes.
You know, they'll see what's happening, and, you know, the faith of your parents is going to be it'll be something they remember.
It's our family testimony. Absolutely. And they're a big part of that.
Well, let's talk more about the photography part now.
Sure.
You do all sorts of photography, right?
We do.
Well,
I'll photograph just about anything.
Yeah. But
Sit still. Well,
no,
they don't sit still. But.
Isn't it not just the studio, though? You do make, make the field trip, so to speak. You go out to do you do weddings and such as that?
We have the studio, but we also shoot on location. Just Saturday, I was shooting in a dear friend's home. And then we do weddings and events as well. So we are all over DFW shooting. I'd say it's at least probably 50-50, whether it's in studio or on location.
Well, there's a lot of pressure doing wedding photography, I can tell you that.
So much fun, though.
Well, you know,
I've always wanted, one day I'm going to have a t-shirt that says "Will work for cake," because you get to be with people on the happiest day, the most beautiful day, and you get really good food and cake.
Well, you know, the sad thing, my wife and I, when we got married back in '88, the photographer lost one of the rolls of film, so we don't have any of her bridal shots.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah,
that's my worst nightmare.
We have pictures of the wedding and the wedding guests, and
I'm so sorry,
but we don't have her formal bridal poses.
I hate that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so he gave us like free Santa pictures and all that, but it's like
in her wedding dress. She put it back on.
Free Santa photos.
Our friend Sydney's also watching this. Sydney Milstead, yeah. So hey
girl,
Sydney,
hey.
how you doing?
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, hey,
I did text her and say, "Hey, which building is the podcast studio?"
I need the numbers. So anyway, but most of your photography is done at the studio, right? So
I would say it's really half and half. We're on location quite a bit. Well, I'll say this time. It depends on what time of year it is, obviously. So we've been in the family photography season, and a lot of times they want that to be on location. So it really depends on what the client's vision is. We have a consultation process that's quite extensive so that I can understand how are you envisioning these photos and how can we bring that to life.
Well, you also at the B&I meetings, you're talking about headshots a lot. You do a lot of those.
A lot of headshots, and those are largely in studio. On occasion, they're on, but those are largely in studio. Yes.
Sydney says hello. Sydney over at the Converse Agency.
Yes.
Who to talk to when you want to have competitive insurance rates?
She told me last week she can save me $1,400 a year on my auto.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Converse Agency and Candy with Camico. See, I do a lot of shout outs for us B&I folks because.
Good. Well, they're fabulous people.
Yeah.
They're just wonderful people and the kind of people you want to do business with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as headshots, I had my kind of a headshot. I had a photo ID made for what class.
That's not
teaching.
a headshot.
And I look like I just woke up from under a bridge, you know, and because I've been wearing a hat all day. So take your hat off. You need a picture. And I'm you okay? And I look like the kind of headshot you'd see on the news saying, if you see this man kind of thing.
Oh, no.
You know. So
we can do better.
I
I won't even make you take your hat off if you don't want to.
Well, I'm getting bald and vain. So,
I like your hat.
okay.
My brother went to Baylor for a couple of years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did he?
It's a great school.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
But, there you go. But also, I would imagine a good bit of your business is like family photography as well.
It is. In seniors, high school seniors, that was
I was thinking of
really
old
a
folks,
huge
but-
genre for us.
High school seniors, okay.
High school seniors, absolutely. We have so much fun with seniors. But we really do a little bit of everything. So it's kind of hard I need to run those numbers to see what I really do the most of. But probably headshots and branding. We do a lot of that. And, but yeah, did a lot of high school seniors this year. Some fun stuff. We got out on boats. We went all over the place.
Well, that sounds like fun. So it isn't just stuck in the studio kind
Not
of
at
thing.
all. Not at all.
And, but I don't know. Last time I had a professional photographer take our pictures is a while back with my wife's family. And I would say they're about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Also on my Facebook page, the cover photo is my family from about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
On the stairs. It's a great photo.
you've seen it then, huh?
I have seen it. Yeah, we're Facebook friends.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know if everybody pays attention to those things. But it's, I'm not real big on personally getting photography because I always feel like I never take a good picture. I was like, always got, my eyes closed, like I'm Forrest Gump or something.
Oh my goodness. You would have to blink really, really fast. I'm a pretty fast shutter. So no, you just, I hear that all the time. I hear, I hate to have my photo taken, or I even polled my Instagram a few years ago, what keeps you from having your photo taken? It's everything from, it's so hard to decide, what we want to wear. It's, I don't know how to do my makeup, or my hair always falls flat. I don't know what to do with them. They just live I want to put them on my wall, but I don't know what sizes to print, or I don't know where to print from, and I just realized these are problems that I can solve, so that's why for our services, that's why we added in things like wardrobe consulting. That's why we added in professional hair and makeup. And that's why I got trained on custom framing and wall art design so that I can, from start to finish, make it an easy process and not a stressful one. Cause it's vulnerable to be in front of the camera. Even this one,
Oh, this right here?
Yeah, I was,
I know you were all nervous.
plucking my eyebrows and putting on cuticle oil like it was going to make a difference.
So
I get it.
It's a hometown podcast, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And
You're good at putting people at ease.
I hope so.
And I feel like, from what I hear, that's a strength of mine as well. That's how I try. It's what I try to bring to my clients. Is just a fun experience.
I could see that. I could see, reassuring and all this. My wife had this idea of having our son and daughter take Santa pictures with the same Santa until they're like, I guess, on Social Security.
I love that.
But they kind of petered out about when the photographer himself retired, and the kids, like my son's like 12. Do we really have to do this? And she even wanted them to wear the same outfits. So I could see him. My son is 18. He's still wearing the green and red
about
vest.
The exact same.
Yeah.
Hey, a 12-year run, that's a great run.
Yeah, but we had about 6 years worth, I think. And we have the one that everybody seems to have from their past, the kids screaming.
We have one of those. And it's my own father-in-law and mother-in-law dressed up as Santa and Mrs. Claus, and my girls are screaming. If I'd known we would have talked about it, I would have had it. I would have brought it. But
my son was like 3 or something. He would just wailing. So that particular year, we have him standing and smiling by Santa's chair.
That's helpful.
You know, so
That's helpful. You got to make those adjustments sometimes, but at the same time, you know, that was accurate to the moment, and it's hilarious now. And so I encourage people. It doesn't always have to be, you know, picture perfect posing. It's, you know, it's okay to capture what's happening in real time.
Well, let's see some of your work. So
I have the best clients. Let's look at them.
Client. Okay.
Yeah, Olivia, baby Samuel.
Olivia. Some of these people I recognize. Not so fast there, Taylor. Doggone it.
It's the same person.
It is the same.
Oh, okay, fine.
Still
Anyway,
beautiful.
Yeah, but I bet you get some of those too, you know, mother and daughter shots and things like that. And that's nice. It really is.
I you know, we know this stage passes so quickly. And so I love when we're able to capture it because, you know, a week later, they're completely different, it seems.
Yeah, well, you know, when they get to be teenagers, it's a lot easier to raise. Okay. Is it one of your senior photos, I guess?
Yes. Senior photo. Aiden. That's what I love about senior photos. So we're able to bring in so much of their personality and personal style. And that's what makes it really fun because no two senior sessions are the same.
You know, when my son, this is embarrassing. And
Kennedy.
Hang on. Kennedy. Okay, hang on a minute. Yeah. When my son was down with senior pictures, I don't know how they got a hold of it, but somebody wanted him to become a model. And I'm like,
okay.
No thank
Your
you.
genes, of course.
No. Well, he has my genes in terms of like, you know, his personality, all the stuff I have.
I'm going
doubled.
to tell Robin you said that.
No, she'll agree. Oh, well, she'll agree. My son is
a little copy paste there.
Yeah, except they pasted twice on some of my traits. You might say he's very strong willed.
There you go. I got one of those too.
Who's this?
That's Kennedy. Kennedy D's. Her dad's the pastor over at North Point. Yeah.
Okay.
Precious family.
Yes.
They've been sweet supporters of me.
And she's a senior, I guess.
She is over at NCA.
Oh, the Nazarene school. Okay, yeah. Good. Okay, good. How nice. Okay.
Sweet girl. It's beautiful on the inside and outside.
Yes. Wedding photos.
This was, so that's Robbie and Bailey there. They, we did this wedding this fall at a new venue, Brentlinger Farms, over in kind of out down 1187 out there, and beautiful, sweet venue. Really enjoyed working with them. So if you're looking for a great wedding venue, check them out.
Okay. And who is this?
It's Caitlin. If you need a VA, she's incredible. This is Caitlin Garner. And she's about to launch a new website. So we did a whole branding session.
A VA?
A virtual assistant, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she's really more than that. She's actually like an online business manager, I think is the term that she uses. And she really helps businesses like ours grow and stay organized. And she is multi-talented. If you are not type A and you need somebody to help you be more type A to reach your goals, she's the girl to call.
I might need to visit that.
She's fantastic.
Oh, I like Western pictures.
Another Kennedy. I got to photograph two Kennedys, and she loves all things rope and ride, and so we were able to bring that in. Really have a kind of Americana themed shoot. It was so fun.
Is this a senior as well?
And she's a senior. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's. Oh, we know her.
We know this lady,
Lisa Schwartz, of course.
Fantastic human being right there.
Isn't she going to be on the show or the studio rather?
Yeah, she'll be in the studio tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Well,
hopefully plugging her new book.
Hopefully.
She'll be on in early February. You know, she has a fundraiser called Ocho Loco, kind of a walk and run kind of thing. And then also her big event in early May is the City on a Hill.
City on a Hill. Such a fantastic event. And she's the Energizer Bunny. She does so much. It's incredible.
Really like her Moretti's oil store. You ever been there?
So good, and the popcorn. And if you're looking for a gift, hop in there.
That's another shout out for Moretti's oil. You know, and Alex Phillips will be on in about 2 weeks, and he'll tell you, shop local, right?
Right.
And so when I bought some gifts for our little party, we had it be in a couple over Tamara's place. Went local. I went to Accents, and I went to
awesome
Old Town Provisions, and stuff like that because it is important. That's why everybody does stuff online. If they're saving a couple of bucks, they don't realize what impact it's having on the community.
Right.
Particularly, at this time of year, this is the time that we need to shop locally.
Absolutely. We have such great options right here in Burleson. Every time you shop local, you're supporting a family like ours.
You know what? One of the little quotes we had at our last meeting, I think, is what spurred me into thinking about expanding my production here was that every small business began with an act of courage. It's kind of paraphrasing.
I love that quote. No, it's absolutely true. It's a nerve-wracking thing to do, but it does. And so these small businesses, they're real people and real families.
Yeah, and they pay. I always shopped local because when I was a school teacher, they were paying my salary. So I want to make sure they stay in business. And who is this lovely bunch?
This is Amanda. These some of my longest standing clients. I have photographed this sweet family all the way from when she was engaged in her wedding, and then when these two twins were newborns, all the way through family. And this was actually our very first shoot in the studio. They were the first ones to come into the studio.
That's
Yeah.
another thing, I guess,
special.
about your position. You actually become, in a way, somewhat attached to your clients, I'm sure.
Absolutely
And
do.
you get to see their life as it unfolds, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love being with people throughout their milestones, on some of their, like I said about the wedding photography, but even beyond that, with wedding, newborn, family, all of these things, starting new businesses with headshots. I get to come alongside people in each of those milestones, and it's really special. It's one of my favorite things about what I do.
Yeah, and because, this started off maybe as, were they your friends prior to this?
No.
Okay, but
They
become
started
friends.
out as
Yeah.
clients and absolutely become friends.
Yeah, that's the good thing about small businesses. Again, you can get your pictures done, and by a very impersonal situation, whatever else. But to have it done locally, and to have it done, semi-annually, probably.
Yes.
You really develop relationships with your clients,
Yes.
and you know what they like and don't like. You know what they're comfortable with and not, and all this, and all this, and you don't have to, spend a lot of time going through that process because you already know, and they know you and are
Absolutely.
comfortable.
It's
That's
a
big deal.
trust building thing. Like I said, it's vulnerable to be in front of the camera. It
Right,
really
it
is. And so when you find somebody you trust that is going to take care of you, help you look your best. One of the things I say is I help you put your best face forward,
Who's this gentleman?
This is Mr. Ray Bruce. I'm realizing I put them back to back. Actually, I was doing an image selection appointment with Amanda, the beautiful woman from the photo before, and Ray overheard us and said, "Hey, my headshot is from AI. And it looks like it's made with AI." And he wanted something more authentic, which that's, AI is something that's really shaking up my industry.
Yes, I know.
Didn't expect to talk about it today, but here we go.
Well, we can talk about it whatever you like.
I love it. And so, he did it. And at first glance, it looks all right. But then you look closer and you just realize it's just not authentic. And more importantly, it didn't feel authentic to him. And he wanted to have images and photos that were more true to who he was. And so he came in, we had a lot of fun, and
Well,
it's one of the quite debonair.
we maybe at another show we can talk about their technology challenges.
I would love to talk about that.
Because
that's photography is an art, but it's a very technical art. So,
it is an art, and that's why I would never use AI for anything. I'm not. I guess I'm old school. Taylor makes fun of me because I'm like, okay, which button do I push? That's me in technology.
I feel like I'm getting there in a way, not with photography, but the new phone update. Oh my word!
The kids.
Okay, the Photos app sucks.
Oh,
on the
it's
update.
terrible. Why did they do that? I can't find anything.
Well, here's a very pretty young
We know
lady,
this lady,
Melissa
one of my
Miller.
favorite ladies in town, Melissa Miller. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She's going to be on the show the 6th of January.
Okay.
And she's normally on every month, but I gave her a little couple months off, because that poor girl was working a lot.
She's been busy.
Sarah, she and Sarah do a lot of good stuff with the chamber and a lot of interesting stuff.
They
And
have hit the ground running.
and
Absolutely. I'm
they-
so thankful for them.
Are they starting a podcast too, right?
No, you never know what could be around the corner.
All right. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Interest is peaked.
yeah, well,
I
that's
can't
true.
wait for
Is
that.
peaked.
I just, that's just what, just rumors, but whatever.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. This handsome guy. His name is Quigley. He
Quigley.
is actually my mom's dog, but he's I had to throw him in there because we do pet photography. But Quigley is a crisis response therapy dog.
Oh, really?
He and my mom have worked really hard. She volunteers with Arkansas Baptist Disaster Relief, very similar to Texas Baptist Men. I'm sure you're very familiar. It's the Arkansas counterpart to that. And he's a trained therapy dog to go out on in crisis and help people in those really tough moments.
Well, I love dogs. I still mourn the fact they had to put ours down about 2.5, 3 years ago.
We have 2 dogs ourselves, and they really become members of the family.
Right. It's going to be really tough when but it's what it is. I always wonder, when you talk about therapy dogs, are dogs by themselves or therapy? Do they have to be trained in a certain way or whatnot?
So absolutely, dogs are therapy. They've done studies on the calming effects that they have. But for to be a true therapy dog, I'm very proud of the work that my mom does with him and on her own as well. But they have to be trained to be in control at all times, no matter what happens. So they walk into these situations, for example, there's a tornado that comes through and they set up feeding centers, because another thing my mom does is mass feeding for these, post-crisis events. And so he has to be able to walk into a shelter area where there's a lot of people. People could be very distressed, a lot of movement, a lot of motion, and he has to be in control at all times. And so that takes a lot of work to get there. And he's pretty special.
It's amazing what they can do with these dogs. I have a friend who has a diabetic response dog, a diabetic alert dog.
Yes.
His son is diabetic, and if the numbers get too low, somehow this dog knows that.
It's fascinating.
And will wake him up or alert him to it. It's like a better version of Freestyle Libra, which I use, but it's a...
Right.
How does a dog know when the diabetics numbers are too high or too low? But apparently
they smell it.
I guess they smell it.
They smell it. Same with seizures. The seizure alert dogs or the syncope dogs, that they can alert and have their owners lay down and stay safe and get medicine that they need. It's really incredible.
And this gentleman is?
Yes, Mr. Hess. So I'm actually about to shoot his brother's wedding in the spring, which I'm excited about. Yeah. So I debated on which I should have thrown another photo in, but he is a competitive shooter. Rifle shooter. And so we did some really cool shots with him and his rifle in action. But that's also his beloved truck. And so we had a lot of fun. We did some fishing photos. It was great.
Girlfriends come and go, but a good truck is hard to find.
And another with the boat. Yeah.
Yes,
with our boat
boats.
here. He is a competitive fisherman, very talented and very proud of his boat. So we were able to jump out. His dad had a boat. So I was on a boat and he was on his boat, and we waited around for the sunset to get just right to get this. This is the photo that he envisioned, and we had a lot of fun making it happen.
That's a nice sunset and all that.
Yes. Another NCA senior.
It's interesting though, this competitive fishing. I'm like, how do you do that? I don't know. I just throw it out there.
Really, really good at it.
Yeah,
And apparently he's very good.
I guess because I just throw it out there and hope for the best. But I guess he got a much more sophisticated approach than I do. Pretty
We
young
have
lady.
another local realtor. Actually, she made a career change. She was an ER nurse for many, many years, and then made a career change. And so I was able to support her in her new endeavor, and gorgeous set of photos. We had a lot of fun.
Very nice. What's her name?
Oh my goodness. Nancy.
Nancy, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, I do that all the time.
It's like, I know it. And then I don't have enough coffee in front of me. Forgive me.
Are you a coffee
beautiful
person,
friend? Oh, Daniel's first, when we moved to Texas, he went to work for Starbucks because they were one of the few companies that would give benefits to part-time employees. And our oldest daughter was epileptic when she was younger. And so we had seizure medicine that we needed to cover. And so anyway, that really launched we liked it before, but really launched our love of coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I like coffee. And Taylor here is the coffee king.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes.
He
is a connoisseur of coffee.
Something like that.
Something like that. So he knows what he's talking about.
All right. Well, I need your recommendations before we leave.
I got you.
All right. And
all right. So this
is
is from some sports photos. We like to have some fun with some sports photos. Bring in some smoke and some colored gels on the lights and have fun. I think the next one is also another sports photo. The kids have so much fun shooting these. They feel like stars for a second.
Do you do like actual sporting events? If somebody asks you to come do it, like take pictures of my son playing basketball.
There are a few things that I don't photograph, and that's one of them. That is a very special set of equipment. And so for live action sports photography, there are some people in town that do that really, really well. And so I would rather refer it out to somebody that's doing it really well and have that client be served well than to try to make something happen myself.
Well, that's
same for real estate photography. We got some really great, that's a totally different skill set of editing and a totally different, set of lenses that you need for that and way of shooting. And there's some people in town that do it super well.
So you do have specialties, let's say.
I do. Yeah. That's why I say I'm a portrait and event photographer. You know, there's many genres. So within portraits, I shoot lots of different portraits, but there's other genres that people do really well.
How does one get a hold of you?
Hold on. That's my sister-in-law, Erica.
I'm sorry, we got some more?
That's just what, I don't know how many more, but that's my sister-in-law, Erica, so I had to be excited. How beautiful is she?
What is that, Daniel's sister?
No, that is my brother's wife.
Brother's wife.
That's my brother. So it's just me and my brother. And so she is the first sister I ever had. She and my brother started dating when they were 15. So she's been in my life for a long time and is just a wonderful human being. And
it's great having in-laws that are not outlaws, right?
Absolutely. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And on Daniel's side of the family as well. I'm so thankful for all of my in-laws.
Well, I'm blessed too. My in-laws, my wife's family are wonderful people. And as far as my family, they like her better than me. So if we ever had a problem, I'm the one looking for something to do on Thanksgiving. She's always got the invite.
I think Daniel... my dad would probably choose Daniel over there. They're besties, and I love their relationship.
Well, it's, I've been very fortunate. I've said this before, but my wife and I are the only couple I know our age that still have both sets of their parents still around.
What a gift.
Well,
what a gift.
Yeah, but it's coming, and that's another story, another show altogether. But they've lived good lives.
Yes.
So it'll be a sad day, but
a celebration.
But yes, exactly right.
Of lives well lived and well served.
Exactly right. And so how do they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can just swing into the studio if you want. We're there.
Do you have like a Facebook page?
And we have obviously my website. That's probably the best way, the most direct way to get in touch. And that's just www.jbollen, BOLLEN, photography.com. That's where you can find us and learn a little bit more about us.
For those who are looking for a pen when you said that.
www.jbollenphotography.com.
And your phone number?
501-773-5151. That is my direct line. Just
501. Is that in Arkansas?
I got to hang on to a little bit of it. So that is still my Arkansas area code.
Okay.
Yes.
One more time then, please.
501-773-5151.
Well, you say just drop on by, but appointments are preferable.
That's true. We're not there all the time because, like I said, we got into this business so that we could still be present for our family. So I can still, and like this week, we have about 8,000 class Christmas parties and things with my kids. And I want to be present for those. So, but there's, we've got a number and a QR code on the door. So if you swing in and we're not there, just shoot us a message.
When you say do you have somebody who helps you out?
It's a family business. Daniel is there with me every step of the way. I also have wonderful hair and makeup artists that work with me regularly and are very, very integral to my business. I have a studio assistant that pops in sometimes, DW. Hi, DW. We were talking this morning. And so I have a team, I'm not a one-woman show by any means. It's a team.
Well, you're very busy anyway, because I know you're active with Graceview.
Yes.
And you have like a ladies' Bible study, and that's very important to you.
Yeah, I teach Bible study on Wednesday mornings. That is open to anyone who would like to attend. That's not just, you don't have to be a member of Graceview. So I think we're going to jump into Proverbs in the spring. So
that's exciting stuff.
I know. I've never taught through Proverbs. I've studied through it, but not taught through it.
I have used Proverbs 31 to kind of lift my wife's spirits up. Sometimes.
Hey, she husband said, gold points right there.
Yes, right. One time she was feeling really bad, so I read it and to her, and
I love that.
It did make a difference. My favorite part is faithful instruction is always on her tongue. That's my favorite quote.
I take back my points. I take back my points. You can't use scripture as a weapon and get points. Shame upon you.
I know. The Lord's going to be frowning on that one. But anyway. So
I'm going to send Robin an encouraging scripture to counter yours because of that.
Any special events, I assume, for Graceview at
Christmas? Yeah, we've got Christmas Eve services. We've got Christmas Eve, 3:30 and 5. Maybe check the website just in case. But beautiful candlelight service. Our Dave Hill, our worship pastor, and the whole team does a wonderful job just really remembering what's important about Christmas and why we celebrate it. And that is that, Christ came. Christ came very humbly as a savior to all. And so we're going to celebrate that, and we'd love to have you join us.
I enjoyed this show. I hope you did.
This was fun. This was fun.
It wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
Not nearly. I thought I was going to be a nervous wreck. Maybe when I watch it back, I'm probably not going to watch it back.
You did
Hopefully,
great.
didn't say anything dumb. But
no,
it was
did
fun.
Great.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate.
Well, we'll do this again, and I'd like to talk more about the business end as well.
Yes.
And the AI part, maybe in March,
Yes.
maybe.
Hey, sounds great.
Because I have concerns about what AI can do to small businesses
Yes.
and such.
It can be a tool, but it can also be a challenge,
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting to navigate. My husband's actually going to hopefully be writing a dissertation on even how AI is going to be affecting ministry and counseling. And is it a tool? Can it be helpful? It's very much a part of our world now. It was on the horizon, but it's not anymore. So it's here.
It's impacted education. I can tell you that.
That
right
is
now.
yes,
Yeah.
far-reaching.
And tomorrow at 10, we're going to be on an hour early to accommodate schedules. Jennifer Woods is bringing by the new executive director of Harvest House.
Exciting! Exciting!
You know Jennifer, I assume, or at least you met.
Another fantastic human being.
Right.
Yes.
And she's bringing by Amber Case, who's the new director. So we're going to get to know her.
Not new to Harvest House, but new in this role, which is
new in the role,
which is exciting. So I think she'll really be able to hit the ground running.
And speaking of the food pantries, I want to make sure I emphasize this. This is the last week of school before the holidays. And so a lot of these kids depend on breakfast and lunch at school aren't going to have access to that. So make it a point this week to go by and drop by either Crowley House of Hope or Promises or Harvest House, the
all wonderful
establishment of your place, and drop by some stuff that kids can make for themselves.
Yes, even some of the local food boxes. There's one at the library. I know there's one
blessing boxes
at Oak Grove. The blessing boxes. I know those are really helpful to a lot of families.
That's Sherry Scott's outfit. She does that.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you ever met her.
I've heard the name. Haven't had the pleasure.
Her husband's on the city council, and Sherry does this on her own, along with some volunteers.
That's amazing.
But it's, you go by and, I asked yesterday at church, one of the people at work in my Sunday school class works at Promises, and he said they need sandwich making stuff. They need canned stuff that they can make, and it's helpful if the can is pop top, right?
Absolutely.
Or macaroni and cheese, those little cups of that. Also, oranges and apples.
Fresh food.
Yes. And so, we need to help sustain some of these people over the next couple of weeks when they don't have access to steady meals.
Yes. Let's take care of our own.
All right. Thank you, Taylor.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, see, and everything worked out just fine, didn't it?
It was great. I really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. All right, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.